You still can't hear me, y'all? Maybe getting my fucking nerve. Can you hear me? Oh, all right. Yes, and a host of other charges. Whole internet slammed them, whole world. Gervonta Davis crashed out. Gervonta Davis messed up the bag. Gervonta Davis this. Gervonta Davis that. Video get released of the incident, which I told y'all. I don't think it's what they said it was. And I don't see nobody reporting on it. Why is it not getting the same attention that the slander videos got? Shit's crazy, yo. Jake Paul said, Lucky Four Leaf, what it do? Netflix supposed to drop the fight because of that. Jake Paul said that it was horrible and he just this deplorable person. Meanwhile, I'm not saying what he did was right, but what I'm saying, if we put that on a scale, a level of 1 to 10 when it comes to domestic violence, I gave it a 2. My girl cousin looked at it and she said she wouldn't even put it on the scale, man. You know what I mean? Like that shit wasn't nothing. But nobody's reporting on it, nobody's covering it. Then we got Poetic Flacco, AK-47, live snitching online as usual. We got I want to talk about Charlie Kirk. That Charlie Kirk situation is getting wild about a minute. You know, Tyler Robinson. I don't think it's the shooter. You know, if he's the shooter, he definitely had accomplices. And I want to talk about the Candace Owens element too, y'all, because I think unbeknownst to Candace Owens, I think she is participating in the play. Alrighty. You got my Instagram, right? I think Candace Owens is participating in the play, y'all, without her even knowing it. Yep. I think what she's doing, I think she's trying to do the right thing. But I think she don't realize that she's a part of the play. You know, because by ultimately clearing Tyler Robinson's name, the case ultimately goes unsolved. Which means they successfully got rid of Charlie Kirk and nobody got arrested for it. Not saying that he should get arrested for it if he didn't do it. I'm just saying, I think what she is doing is helping. I think that's what they want her to do. Now, I'm not saying she participating. I think, you know, because these people, y'all, that you know, that manipulate things, and, yo, they good at what they do. They can almost dictate, if this happened, this person's going to respond this way. This person's going to respond that way. You understand? Like, yo, it gets that deep, y'all. For people that think it's not. It gets that deep. And I think it's possible that when they did whatever they did to Charlie Kirk, they knew that Candace Owens wasn't going to let that shit fly. And she was going to investigate it extensively, aggressively. And it ultimately helps them because Charlie Kirk ain't coming back. And Tyler Robinson ain't going to jail. Mission complete. You feel me? Because nobody else is getting charged at all. Like, not nobody else. It ain't happening. You feel me? It don't matter what she uncovers. It don't matter how many lies she exposed as lies. Nobody else is going to jail for that shit. That was the whole reason of grabbing Tyler Robinson to begin with. You know? What they call him, a patsy. We're going to blame him. And he's going to beat the case. Mission complete. Nigga, I don't ever see you over here. Nigga, fuck it is, turn. Let me make you a mod, man. I don't be saying you, bro. My man turned in, man. Man turned in started YouTube around the same time. We just fuck with ODM Slim. Shoot the ODM Slim, man. Shoot my man turned in Productions, man. My motherfucking Virginia, man. Straight up. Nah, we do. Then we gonna keep it real as possible. You know what I mean? Sometimes we keep it too real. The way they get to start blocking us and shadow banning us and, you know, doing all the shit that they do to the real. But it's expected. Then we got Pooh Shiesty, man. God damn, Pooh Shiesty. PB Longway just took a plea. Bricc baby. Gotta talk about Bricc baby. So there's a running narrative created by Whack 100 and his the rest of the guys that do what he did. And they saying Bricc baby told on Big U. Y'all, we said this from the very beginning when we read the indictment. Yo, Bricc baby is not on the indictment with Big U. He's not on the indictment. Bricc baby. So this is how sometimes this is how Ricos go. They grab everybody as a whole, but everybody's getting charged separately. Now, some people charges might coincide with other people's, like how they got Bricc U, not Bricc U, Big U, Loose Cannon. I think the guy named the other dude. It was like 4 of them on one indictment. Bricc baby, not Bricc baby. Big U is only indicted with 4 other people. Loose Cannon is one of them. So if Loose Cannon was to take a plea deal, more than likely, that's going to affect Big U. But Bricc baby is only arrested and indicted because, not only arrested, but Bricc baby name is only mentioned with Big U's is because of a phone conversation. But with what that shit's confusing. Bricc baby, Big U, what Bricc baby is charged with is totally separate than anything Big U got going on. So by him taking this plea deal, it has no burns on anything that Big U got going on. So I don't know why people still listen to Whack 100. It's obvious he has an agenda. It's obvious he's a Fed agent, his goddamn self. And he is the fucking master of misinformation. He's the master of it. He puts out misinformation on everybody. You know, anybody that he wants to. Like, he ain't got no picks. Well, I think he do got picks. I think he tries to pick people that's solid, people that didn't tell, and he tries to muddy their name. You understand? So I think Wack may be upset that Bricc baby isn't charged with Big U. And Big U case is even in doubt, to be honest. But when it comes down to Bricc baby situation, I think he took a bad deal. They just snatched the 5-year plea from him. They just snatched the 5-year plea from him. So he's supposed to be pleading guilty and getting, I think, anywhere from 45 to 60 something months or something like that. Well, that's not on the table no more. Cause Bricc baby gonna get enhanced. I said from the beginning, yo, Bricc baby fuck around and do about 8 to 10. You feel me? If I was Bricc baby, I wouldn't even took that deal. Like, why would you take a deal that's not guaranteeing you nothing? Like, Bricc baby took a deal with no guarantees. You feel me? Like, when he took that plea, he should have worked it out with his lawyer to say, look, if I take this plea deal, because plea deals ultimately helps the government, it helps the state, because you're not wasting taxpayers' money. That's the thing about a plea deal. So if I'm willing to save y'all the time, energy, resources of going to trial, yo, you got to give me something too. Not saying I'm going to cooperate, because I ain't doing none of that. Yo, but you got to at least give me a guaranteed figure. At least give me a ballpark of how much time I'm going to catch. They didn't do that with Bricc baby. Bricc baby took I call it a blind plea. Don't you know how you taking when you playing spades, you take like a blind 10 or a blind 7, before you get your hand. Yo, a lot of times, yo, you ain't gonna make them books, because you basically count your eggs before they hatch. So Bricc baby already pled guilty, and he don't even know what he getting. They can give him whatever the fuck they want to give him. Yo, that is a bad deal on Bricc baby. I never took that. I'd rather took that shit to trial. I'd rather took that shit to trial than did that. And I get it, trial is scary. People ain't trying to go to trial. But the difference between the state and the feds is, the feds, even if you go to trial and lose, the feds are still bound by sentencing guidelines. The state is the ones that max you out when you go to trial. You know what I mean? The state will max you out. If you was facing motherfucking life in prison and you take them to trial, they gonna give you life in prison. If you facing 20 years with the feds or however many months with the feds, if you go to trial and lose, yo, they can't go over those months. Regardless. The state different. State different. They gonna give you the max on that shit. You take them boys to trial and lose, you gonna get the max. Most of the time. Now y'all know ain't nothing 100%, but most of the time they gonna max you out just for for just for their time and effort. You feel me? That's how that works. But yeah, yo, Bricc Baby ain't told. At least I don't Big U. Now we don't know about anything else, but when it come down to Big U, his plea deal didn't hurt nobody else in that case because he was on a separate indictment. Like he don't even have the same case number as Big U. And it's crazy that so many people like that right there alone lets you know that they ain't on this. They don't got the same case number. In order for them to be on the same case, he would have to have the same case number as them. He don't. He's on a whole separate case, even though they got locked up together. That's how that shit works. Fuck this. But we ready to get in front of the computer, man. Hit that like button, share the live, man. It's a nice day out here today. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Yo, Big, you got set up for one. Big, you got set up, yo. I think the feds is lying. I think what the feds are gonna realize is these bloggers aren't credible. What I mean by that is, it's obvious, or it should be obvious to most people that a lot of these blogs and bloggers are working with law enforcement. And law enforcement is using these blogs to solve their cases or help push their cases to the people. And I think the feds are gonna lose a lot of cases fuck around with these blogs, man. Big U didn't extort Daryl Morrison. I don't know about anybody else, because I ain't really been keeping that, that much tabs on the case. But Big U didn't extort Dale. Dale, and I think it's in paperwork, because I've been keeping up with it. I've been following his coverage. And I agree with his assessment of it. Dale Morrison wasn't a victim. Dale Morrison was a fucking co-conspirator. Probably the biggest co-conspirator, because Dale Morrison was finding licks for Big U. So basically, this is how this go. And this is legal. This is legal with the feds. The state can't do this. Basically, Big U was entrapped, right? Big U was entrapped. But what the feds gonna have to prove is, in order for this to work for them, the federal government's going to have to prove that Big U was already extorting people. So the feds are allowed. If say if I was extorting people, right? That's what I did. Extort niggas. Make niggas pay to run their businesses in my neighborhood, right? Or on my block. Now, none of them is telling on me. Everybody is good with what we got going on. They good with what they paying me. They good with the protection I'm giving them for paying me, right? The feds are allowed. All right, let's say one of my homeboys got flipped, right? And one of my homeboys, who is also working for the feds, will come to me like, yo, hey, keep it G. Yo, I got this lick, yo. You feel me? I got this guy, he's sweet. We can extort you. He a victim. He a target, right? I'd be like, all right, fuck it. All right, bet. We gonna put the play together. And we start extorting them. In a state, that would be entrapment. because they are the ones that started this extortion on this person. But in the feds, if they can show a history that you was already doing that, they can send somebody at you to persuade you into keep doing it, and that's perfectly legal in federal law. It's crazy. That's what they did to Big U. Daryl Morrison caught a case. He caught a case, and I think in Ohio or something like that. Sex trafficking case with a minor involved. And he tried to get out this case by setting Big U up. So what he did was he talked to the feds, probably told the feds, like, look, man, well, the feds could have came to him, like, look, man, we know Big U moving like this. We just need you to set him up. We need you to set him up. We need you to say that you know somebody that got a weed phone, and you'll break him off, or here, you'll break him off if y'all hit this play together. He like, all right, bet. And then you go pull it, they arrest you for it. Say you extorted somebody. Dirty, right? Because if it wasn't for Daryl Morrison coming to Big U with this idea, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. And then Daryl Morrison started playing the game with him, to keep the case going. He'll make a deal with him, say that this is what we're going to do. Then he tried to renege on the deal. Now Big U got to get aggressive with him. But the whole time, this is all part of the play. It's all part of the play. It's all documented. It's all voice recorded. It's all part of the play. Meanwhile, the feds set it up. But I tell you all the time, y'all, the feds ain't no better than the state. The reason their conviction level, I'm talking about their prosecutors, the reason their conviction level was so high is because they are allowed to damn near do anything. They get away with it all. And most people are scared to challenge them. The law is severely on their side. Like, let's take Dirk case, for example. They went up to the grand jury, presented an edited video of Dirk. I think what was the one that whatever song Dirk did, and they used it was edited, where they edited Quando Rondo when the song saying no. So when Dirk said no, 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 it cut to that. But Dirk changed and put that out. That wasn't a part of the original video. But they used this, and they secured in that information helped them secure an indictment, basically saying, look, Dirk self-snitched. He admitted that he rapped about it. Meanwhile, the song was put out or created months before the murder. The original video didn't have that edit in there, and they were still able to secure an indictment. They were still able to use that. In the state, that would have been enough to thwart the whole case. That would have been enough for the whole case to get tossed out. But what the federal government was allowed to do was, all right, we're going to go back in front of the grand jury, take that part out, and supersede them, which means we're going to indict them again. Another thing they did in Dirk case, the first indictment was about murder for hire. And they presented their case to the people, to the world, and to the grand jury, like they had significant evidence of Dirk paying somebody for this murder. But in the superseding indictment, that was the first indictment. The first indictment was about murder for hire. In the superseding indictment, it ain't all about murder for hire now. Because they don't have anybody that got paid. They don't have anybody that could testify to getting paid. They don't have any of that. So now the case is about murder by stalking. You get me? The first indictment they got on Dirk was flawed. It was filled with lies. It was filled with mischaracterizations. And instead of that just being enough to throw the whole case out, they just superseded them and took language out, added language in, took a charge away, added a new charge. Yo, the state, you can't do that with the state, man. They make it so hard for you in the federal system to win, yo, because all the laws is geared toward them. Like, how did y'all make this big fuss about murder for hire, but y'all don't have any proof that anybody got hired or anybody got paid? you know, typically with a murder for hire case, it got to be some type of bounty. It got to be some type of financial incentive. The federal government in Dirk cases saying the financial incentive was features. Features. Like, yo, like they really trying to convince the world, or was at that time, was trying to convince the world that these guys went to California, tried to murder Quando Rondo for a fucking feature. But now they backing away from that and saying, yo, this case ain't really about murder for hire. This case is about murder by stalking. And it's a much lower bar. Even though it still carries life in prison, the bar is lower. Because now we don't have to prove that a bounty was paid. All we got to prove now is that this group of guys, you know, spearheaded by Dirk, or with Dirk at the lead, tried to take Quando Rondo's life on more than one occasion. That's it. And they have somebody, or maybe two, however many people they got, that's willing to testify and say that when Quando Rondo got shot at the gas station in Savannah, that was Dirk and them too. When Quando Rondo got shot at in California, that was Dirk and them too. Way lower bar. Because if you got somebody that was involved in both situations, testifying and can say, but they got to have proof, you know, they got to have proof to back it up, to say that I was involved in this shooting, and I was involved in this shooting, and there's proof that I'm associated to this guy, that's what they're going to try to use to secure a conviction. Now, I don't know what's up with Pooh Shiesty, man. Let's start off with Pooh Shiesty. I don't know. I don't understand. I swear I don't. I heard his father was a rat, to be honest. And if, I'm going to tell y'all this, right? If this Pooh Shiesty situation is involving the thing that they said about Gucci that I still don't believe, yo, Seti Nash and them and Whack 100 and them is the ones that play the role in getting them booked. That's why bringing information like this to the internet is so dangerous. But I told y'all the federal government has bloggers. Like, people keep thinking it's a game. People will call these people federal agents, and police with laughing emojis like, yo, since when was the feds funny? Since when was police officers funny? Since when was it okay to disguise yourself as a blogger, but you're really a fucking informant? Since when was that okay? Or like, why are we just accepting anything? Like, we just right now accepting anything. Like, you really can do it all on this bitch, and people are still going to support you. People still gonna watch your videos. People still gonna share your opinions. And it's like, oh, damn, y'all, like, we going down a rabbit hole fast. Like, it's crazy to me. Like I said, I don't know what this Pooh Shiesty situation is about, but I'm telling you, if it's about anything involving this Gucci man shit, if that actually happened, if that was how the federal government got on, I mean, but we'll never know because they'll never release it. What they say is open source information. We know what that is now. I don't want to broke that to y'all. Open source research, open source information is presented by bloggers like these academics and others. You feel me? They open source snitching. Trap Lord Ross is open source snitching. Seti Nash, King AK-47, 1090J, all Whack 100, they're open source telling, which means they don't never have to testify to it. Ever. The federal government is using these guys. They're using these guys. But I think ultimately, I don't think that's a winning formula. I don't. I think they're gonna lose a lot of cases using these motherfucking bloggers as their top source. Hold on. I think they're gonna lose a lot of cases like that. Pooh Shiesty arrested by a fair look. Say Nash. First one to do a video on it. Bitch ass. Boy, bitch. Let's check out this. Our Urban Central. Imagine being able to... Yeah, not even just that though, Carl. These guys are working with the government. I just was talking to my man Ham, Raw Dope Podcast, Sleep the Raw Dope Podcast. That when I first started blogging, right? Like when I first started, that lets you know how predatory these people are. I had white people. I don't know who these people is. I don't know who they work for. Was inboxing me on Instagram about my content. And can I put content on my page? Can I do content for them? One of the people even went so far as to looking through all my videos just to, I don't know why. You know, maybe they was trying to see if I was, you know, aligned with whatever. Obviously, it didn't work. Obviously, they decided to go another direction, you know, because I ain't never heard from them again. And then you go back, when I try to go back to the messages, the pages is gone. So who the fuck was these people? And if they was reaching out to me, and this was early on, y'all, I didn't have no following. I might have had like 500, you know what I mean? 500 subscribers. If they was reaching out to me, who else was they reaching out to? Who else was they reaching out to? And everybody ain't like me. I'm not fucking working with y'all. But see, at the time, this is me looking back on it. At the time, I'm thinking that they trying to help me grow my page. You feel me? But I didn't know if it was the police or not. At the time, I didn't even think that police was moving like this. Looking back at it now, shit, it probably could have been. Who the fuck? I don't know who the fuck they was. But 4 years ago, I just thought, you know, it was people trying to, you know, they was going to pay me weekly to post a few videos and they was going to put it on their channel. I was thinking they just was trying to grow their channel back then. But looking at it now, and now that I know that the police is using the internet and YouTube specifically as a crime fighting tool, it got me thinking, like, who the fuck was these people for real? It could have been fucking police the whole time. And they probably went through my page and seen how I was and was like, nah, I don't think he ain't gonna get down what we trying to get down with. Yo, these guys that's at the top of the blog space, their video's not even good. Their take's not even good. Their take's not good. Yo, their video, the whole structure of the videos of talking, then you go into a clip, then you talk again, then you go into a clip, then you talk again, you might go into an article. Yo, I started that in the urban sector of YouTube. I started that, y'all. You can go all the way back. 4 years ago, niggas wasn't doing their videos, not niggas. I don't know what was going on the other end. Yeah, but niggas wasn't doing their videos like that. That shit started on Keep It G News, man. I brought that element to YouTube. Now, people was doing it off screen, but I brought the element of being on screen and cutting into a clip, then coming back, then cutting into a clip, then coming back. Niggas wasn't doing that shit before me, man. But you wouldn't know that because ain't nobody attributed to me. Nobody was like, "Oh, see, Keep It G News, yo." Nobody did that. Nobody did that. But yeah, Harry, man, you been over here for a while, man. You remember I was going through all that shit with them niggas stealing and niggas don't want to get credit and niggas stole my whole video style, man. Suddy Nash was the first one to do it. Now I see Poetic Flacco do videos that way. I created that style on YouTube. But on the urban sector, like I said, I don't know what else other niggas was doing. But being on the camera and going in and out, clip to back to you, the clip to back to you, to article back to you. No, niggas wasn't doing that. Niggas might do one clip. You know what I mean? Niggas might do one clip. But niggas wasn't doing 2, 3, 4, 5 clips in one video, man. On camera, they wasn't. I brought that to the urban sector of YouTube.
To build an app with your...
Man, appreciate it, bro. I know you've been over here a while. All right, so this is the house raid of Pooh Shiesty father. Now I heard Pooh Shiesty father wasn't right, to be honest. And that was the story I got as to why that whole Gucci Mane shit was brought up. Because I was told that Gucci Mane's side wasn't willing to work with Pooh Shiesty father because of the snitching allegations. So in order for them to get out in front of it, they decided to create a whole narrative about the Gucci situation. Now, like, I don't know what this is about, but what I am going to say is, if it is about the Gucci Mane situation, then Seti Nash and them told. They told. And motherfuckers ain't even gonna hold them accountable for. Cause we didn't hear this. We didn't hear that story from Gucci Mane or anybody close to Gucci Mane. We heard that shit from a fucking blogger from California or wherever the fuck you from.
In Cordova, our crews have seen FBI and TBI agents going in and out of that house. The Shelby County assessors.
For real? I ain't seen that. Yo, and that Gotham City guard nigga. Yo, who follows yo on Instagram? Yo, that nigga is a wild fucking cone. I tried to get you to debate with me a while ago about some shit. Yo, if you can't. I see, this is what I don't like about certain niggas, right? Niggas to be so loud to voice their opinion, right? But and they act like they stand on it. But if you stand on anything, you should be able to put your opinion against mine, and let's see what sounds more reasonable or logical, or let's see what people really agree with. But what I'm learning and what I learned is that a lot of these people, they don't even believe what they say. They just doing it because it's getting them views, it's getting them paid. But if that's how you moving, if you're a black person and your goal or your content or your videos is geared toward shaming your own community, and you go hard with it, you hear me? Like, you go hard with that shit. You video after video bashing your own people. You gain hella support, hella right wingers fucking with you. You should be able to talk to another black man, and we should be able to have a conversation about this shit. You should be able to stand just as loud as you standing on your videos that you doing by yourself. And it should be able to make sense to people. But these niggas can't. They can only talk to themselves while people listen. They can't have a dialogue with another person that got a difference of opinion, yo, because it's going to make them look foolish. That nigga's a fucking clown, man. I don't know what's up with these niggas. These niggas be so loud, but they don't want to talk for real. My son included. They don't want to talk for real. I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody about something that I stand on. Charles White, another one. You don't want to talk for real. I'm talking about specifically to the people that slander their own people. To the black men and women who making a career out of slandering your own people. Why the fuck you talk to one of them?
Website lists this house as being owned by Lontrell Williams. That is the name of both Pooh Shiesty and his father. The rap star is in a halfway house right now after being released from federal.
Hey, what's good? We got another crazy update. And listen, this one right here, this one is wild. We got to talk about Pooh Shiesty because reports just came in that the FBI done pulled up to a home connected to him early in the morning. And when I say pulled up, I mean full federal presence. We talking agents, warrants, investigations, all that. So the big question right now is, what is really going on with Pooh Shiesty?
Fox 13 live in Cordova, where federal agents have been searching a house.
Property records show it belongs to the family of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre is joining us live out there. We understand that people were awakened by flashbangs earlier this morning.
Yeah, and they heard the FBI and TBI screaming, basically going into the house, saying that this is the FBI, and you can see right behind me those FBI agents still on the scene. Not only FBI, but TBI as well. Now, check this out. We've been out here for a little while now, and we have seen these agents tagging the vehicles. It's about 4 vehicles, one inside of the garage and 3 others in the driveway here. They at one point, they had all of the trunks of these vehicles open.
Now, from what I understand, Pooh Shiesty, we haven't got any information on Pooh Shiesty. I know he don't live there because he is in a halfway house. But nobody knows what this raid was conducted over. We don't know if it's Pooh Shiesty related. So I don't want to, put no bad information out there. But what I can say is, if the federal government is raiding a house with your name on it, and you're on federal papers, that ain't a good look at all.
You can see, I believe that's a silver BMW they have there with the trunk still open, and they're still tagging and taking pictures. We have seen a few of those agents go in and out of the home so far this morning. We have not seen anyone taken out of the home. Of course, that's something we're working to gather information on as to if anyone has been taken into custody. But again, we do know that the Shelby County Assessor's Office, according to their website, they list this home being owned by Lontrell Williams. Now get this, Lontrell Williams is also Pooh Shiesty's name. So his father's name is Lontrell Williams Sr., and his name, Pooh Shiesty's name, Lontrell Williams Jr. We do know that the rapper Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Jr., is in a halfway house at this point in time after his release from federal prison. Now, again, we've been monitoring this situation for quite some time, seeing those FBI and TBI agents going in and out of the home. Again, the most action we've seen so far this morning is that they have been looking into these vehicles. The 4 vehicles, 1 in the garage and the 3 in the driveway there. You can see one of those agents actually looking, I believe that's a Wrangler, a gray Wrangler, just down the way from here. Now, of course, we are working our sources to gather more information as to what all is playing into this investigation, this raid that's taking place at this Cordova home. Of course, stay with us all throughout Good Morning Memphis. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story for you.
So according to multiple reports, the FBI executed a federal search and arrest warrant at the home in Cordova, Tennessee, which is right outside they were looking for, or Pooh Shiesty himself case. He did about 3 years of a 63-month sentence. FBI shows up with a warrant, it's usually tied to a bigger investigation.
I don't know about none of that. I don't know if the same thing with Gucci Mane, but if it is, the bloggers are the reason. Because ain't nobody from none of these people's side said anything.
Well, breaking news, your news leader is following now. We're learning more about an FBI search party at a home associated with Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty.
Now take a look. This was the scene earlier this morning outside of a Cordova home belonging to Lontrell D. Williams, otherwise known as Pooh Shiesty's birth name. Now, the house deed didn't specify whether the homeowner is Pooh Shiesty or his father, Lontrell Williams Sr., but the FBI confirms they were at that home to execute a court-ordered search and arrest warrant. Our Drita Patterson has been at the scene of that search all morning long. Drita, what have you learned?
We've learned quite a bit. It just so happens this is a community where a family I'm very close to live. So they were able to sort of walk us through what happened. They are telling us it was well before, several hours before sunup when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of the from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached. Folks, as mentioned, the home just behind me, according to property records, is listed to Lontrell Williams. Neighbors are telling us this is Williams Sr., the father, of course, of Lontrell Williams Jr., who is better known as Pooh Shiesty. Folks, let's go ahead and show you some of that video for not already. This is how it looked earlier this morning as those federal agents were focused on several cars inside the garage. That, of course, is the extent from our vantage point that we were able to see. This home located along Beaver Valley Lane, just off of South Forest Hill, Irene, here in Cordova. This is a community sort of tucked away. Neighbors described this area as being peaceful. That is until this morning. Take a listen to what a neighbor had to tell us.
They were here, before sunup.
Yeah.
No lights, no sirens, no nothing. Loud explosions, that's what woke me up. They had loudspeakers on saying, we have a warrant for your arrest, come out with your hands up and all this.
Of course, we have reached out to try to get a copy of that search warrant in order to find out exactly who police, or I should say federal agents, were after. Once we get that information, we'll certainly pass it along on air and online. It is worth mentioning there was a vehicle that pulled into the driveway while those agents were here. A young woman got out. Neighbors told me that that woman actually lives here. We tried speaking with that woman, but she did not, of course, want to speak with us. We're still working to gather more information. Of course, we'll pass it along as it becomes available. Reporting for your news leader in Cordova, Jarita Patterson, WREG News.
Let's see what CSI study that said. Like, yo, these dudes, yo, I could not do that. Like, how are you so-called from the streets of California?
Catching mistakes. It's what I...
Like, yo, who vouches for this? Like, how are you... I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know if this got anything to do with the Gucci Mane situation.
live for. And now for...
I told y'all, man, I done had people reach out to me about situations involving rappers that didn't make the internet. You know what I tell them? Yo, that sounds like a police matter. Yeah, I'm not interested in the breaking news. You know, I speak on news that's already out, but I'm not breaking any news, man. It's not my job, yo. Especially when it comes down to criminal activity. Know what I do? If a family member reach out to me and they tell me that their family member is being done wrong by the system, and they need to bring it some media attention, I do that. I do that. But I'm not interested into like if I heard Boosie got robbed or Boosie robbed somebody, right? And they be like, yo, I got proof, I got video, yo, Boosie robbed me, yo, can you cover it on your page? And there's no police reports. It ain't hit the media. Yo, I'm not covering that. I ain't, what the fuck I look like doing that? You feel me? Yo, why would I do that? It's not my job, yo. That's the police. It sounds like a police matter, man. If you want justice in this case, if you want that shit to get resolved, yo, contact your local law enforcement. But these guys are different. These guys are culture vultures, which means that as long as they benefiting, it don't matter what damage it does to somebody else. What's up, kid, baby? Yo, I think AK-47 the police. I be kind of confused with him sometimes. Because sometimes I think he the police. And then sometimes he try to act like he ain't. I think his whole friction with Sadie Nash is not real. I think him and Sadie Nash are still great friends. But I think that since everybody know who CSI Sadie is now, in order for AK to still be able to do what he do, his police shit, he had to publicly separate himself from him. But privately, I think they still cool. Yo, we gotta remember, y'all. AK-47 first video was telling on Muab and Oblak. This was his first video. Yo, do people understand? That was his first video. Uploaded was saying, yo, I know who killed FBG Duck. Muab. That was his first video. Who, yo, like, do y'all know how strange and rare that is? You understand what I'm saying? Your first video, this before they even got arrested. Yo, that sounds police. That sounds like, oh, you working with law enforcement to me. And then I keep telling y'all as well, you have to be worried of the people like this who only been on YouTube for 4 or 5 years and they get 200K, 150K. Yo, that's not normal. YouTube won't allow it. They won't allow it, y'all. Not organically. Y'all see what I go through over here, man. Y'all see what I go through over here? And I don't think none of these niggas is better than me. I don't think they're better than me with editing videos. I don't think they give better information than me. I don't think I think it's obvious. I mean, that's just not even I think if you look at some of the videos that I covered, the same as these guys covered, and you listen to the information given, you can make the determination yourself. They might got better camera quality, you know, they may got a better setup, but when it come down to just raw takes or editing, niggas ain't even on in the same stratosphere, man. But for some reason, my page stalls while their page is able to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. It's a reason, man. It's a reason. Look at all the cases I covered, like real cases. I told y'all ASAP Rocky was gonna beat that case. Remember, everybody was like, ASAP Rocky done what's called testifying. I said, man, he ready to beat that shit. Dude lying. I really believe that it was a BB gun that ASAP Rocky shot. Diddy case, the whole world was going against him. I said, I don't know. Shit don't make sense. The more glaring case out of everybody was YNW Melly. When I told everybody YNW Melly ain't gonna get found guilty, people probably thought I was crazy. Like, what you mean? They got this, they got that, they got this, they got that. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, y'all. What separated? What was the determining factor in YNW Melly trial was the fact that he had 3 friends testifying that he was with us and not with them. They had proof that these guys shared phones. So that cell phone ping could have been any one of them guys. Even with the video of him leaving the studio, it was 2 cars. It was video of the other car going back home. It was video of this. The feds couldn't prove, the state couldn't prove that they didn't stop and switch cars. Y'all gotta remember, it's only about reasonable doubt. Especially when you're dealing with life. It's all about doubt. And right there, the fact that it was 2 cars. We watched them get in, we watched them go, we watched them leave. But we watched 1 car go home. That was enough doubt to say, yo, it's possibility he ain't do it. Especially when you got everybody that was in that car testifying that he was with us. Especially when you bring the guy that was at the gate to testify, he can't say who was in the car or not. It was dark. It was intense. But go back. Look at the videos. Yo, I had to be the only person. I had to be the only person in this space that we're in on YouTube that said, yo, YNW Melly is not going to be found guilty on this case. Alicia Andrews told y'all, like, yo, listen, I don't see it. I don't see it, y'all. The whole case, they talking about everybody else. What the fuck did she do? Her case ready to get overturned, too. Oh, Black. I say, yo, that case gonna get overturned, man. I still believe it. It's gonna get overturned. That's why they haven't been sentenced yet. They don't even got no new dates for sentencing. Because it was so many rules broken. Like, yo, the things that they did to the O Block 5, yo, was egregious, man. It's egregious. And you know, some people say, well, why you want a murderer to get out? I just want black people to get treated fairly in court because it's like we don't get treated fairly. Treat our cases like you treat their cases, man. Yo, they allow O-Block. They allow video footage to be used. And when you talking about life in prison on the line, they allow video footage to be used where you couldn't tell who was who. They allow a person like Trenches News, who didn't know these guys, haven't seen these guys in years, testify based off that video that was grainy to these people's identification. They allowed all of this in court. That video wouldn't have been allowed in no state court across America. You couldn't positively identify nobody from that video. You can speculate. But you got to remember, we dealing with life in prison. You know what I mean? We talking about if you're found guilty for this crime, you'll never see the streets again. Yeah, you can't bring that video footage and then have this guy who don't know these dudes, ain't seen these dudes in years, say, look, that's Muat, that's C thing, that's C murder, that's the cause of it. You can't bring a girl on the stand to cause off a girlfriend and coerce her into saying that Muat was in the car when they pulled up. She got on the stand and said, yo, I felt like they made me say it. I felt like I didn't have a choice. What it is. Exactly. And then you got to remember too, when it come down to O'Block in that trial, is that you got Butter, Swiper, that's going on interview after interview, making up stories. You got Butter, who done interviews that say King Von didn't kill Kyra. But he testified in court that King Von did. Yo, that whole case was fucked up. That's what I mean by the federal government is going to lose these cases to keep depending on these bloggers. Keep depending on these so-called... They're going to start losing, man. Right now, it's new. You know, so they're having fun with it. But they're going to lose a lot of these cases fuck around with these dudes, man. Because they're not credible. What else? Teasy. Yo, it was proof. Yeah, they had Teasy on the phone saying, yo, we on duck and get this person here. They had all that on the phone, right? But also, what happened in that case was, and it was proven that it's in paperwork now, that O-Block was already on their way. When they got Teasy recorded, O-Block was already on their way. Based off the video footage, what they call the Camtasia footage. So in that instance, how can you say he dropped this low? How can you say that? What else? Like, it was just so many inconsistencies in that case. It's ridiculous, man. It was something else that was crazy. What else? It was a Teasy situation. Oh, they didn't bring up the fact that it was reports that somebody got chased with a gun. They didn't bring that up. That was in paperwork. That really happened. Remember, it was rumors, people saying that it didn't come up in court, but that really happened. It's fucking. They got police scanning radio footage that somebody was getting chased with a gun before the situation happened with Duck. What else, y'all? That case was a horrible case. And I always maintain that, yo, if that happened to one of your family members, you would be fucking pissed off, man. If they really just brought these bloggers in there to testify to shit they didn't know about, because they didn't have no witnesses. And that's what I maintained when it came down to the O-Block case. I said, man, only reason this case went federal was because it couldn't go state. It was patched together. What I mean by I couldn't go state is they didn't have the evidence that they used in the O-Block trial. They wouldn't be able to use in state court nowhere because it was all hearsay. Nobody that was there, none of these so-called suspects gave statements. It was all social media, Trenches News, Butter. It like, yo, how the fuck is these niggas testifying to shit they don't know about? I mean, how the fuck was they? How was they allowed to do that? That's why they haven't been sentenced yet, man. That's why they haven't been sentenced. Eventually, I think they're gonna wait to see what happens after Dirt case, because I don't think they want all of them on the streets at the same time. You know, I think they're trying to see what happens with Dirt case, and then y'all gonna see. Then they're gonna make a absolve whatever they got going on with O-Block. What else? That case, that's probably one of the worst cases that they had so far. That old black trial was a disaster. You got the shit with Muab, got the shit with Teasney. You got the video footage that was grainy. What else happened? I think that's about it, man. That case was fucked up, man. That's enough. That's enough. That right there is enough to overturn any criminal case. It's too many. It's too many holes. It was too many holes in the federal government case. Only thing that they can say for certain is that Carlos Alford played a role and Kenny Mack played a role. All them other guys, they ain't got they. And that's another thing too. You supposed to convict individually, even if we are charged together. You supposed to convict individually. So the evidence that's strong on him, that's pertaining to him. You can't use that evidence that's strong on him to convict me. You can't do that. That's not how this shit works. Oh, even when it came down to the getting into the cars, the video froze and jumped. It skipped the scene. So you see the guys walking out, but you can't really see who got in the cars because it skipped the scene. Like all of this was allowed to be used at court, y'all, in secure conviction. And what's holding up the sentencing is every single one of them filed a motion for acquittal, and the judge still haven't ruled on it. They filed their motions like a year ago. They haven't ruled on it yet. But let's see what CSI said. He says. Remember, y'all, this is CSI Seti Nash, the cop calling Crip, who presented himself as a gang member. Everything was blue. Cuz now he's a upstanding citizen. Yeah, I mean.
Shiesty.
It is 7:33. We have breaking news. Fox 13 live in Cordova, where federal agents have been searching a house.
Property records show it belongs to the family of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty.
Hey, let's get on some content. Pooh Shiesty been sitting in jail for the last 3 days, bro. And his girl. They was snatched his girl. Big 30 is on the run. Feds got it out for him right now. The house they hit, yeah, technically that's his house, but they just took his daddy down. And he had hella shit in there.
Yo, where is he getting this information from? That's another thing, too. Like, who told you this, bro? None of this is public information. Where you get this from?
The day and age of street
how you know that?
Bloggers and all of this shit and everything, it muddies a line. There are certain things I can and can't do.
Look, what he's doing, y'all, is he's admitting. If this is all true, he admitting that y'all got him locked up. Did y'all peep that? If Pooh Shiesty really is incarcerated and it's all around this Gucci shit, he is admitting that I got him locked up. That's what he's doing, y'all. Without actually saying it, if you actually listen to him, that's what he's saying. He's admitting I got him booked. Listen to him again.
The day and age of street bloggers and all of this shit and everything, it muddies a line. There are certain things I can and can't do. I had the whole internet mad at me for not placing this nigga there. Why would I?
Nah, bro. We ain't doing that. Yo, people can't be that fucking stupid. If you didn't want the man incarcerated, like I said, I don't know if he is, but let's just take his word for it, right? For one time. If you didn't want the man incarcerated, you shouldn't have spoke on it. Because what you ultimately end up doing is you're opening an investigation You're giving the feds a starting point. He knows this. He's not a dummy. So when you speak on things like that, you don't have to say Pooh Shiesty is there. The feds, the police is going to do the rest of the work. Okay, so we know what happened. Now we know who to go to. Now we know what video footage to watch. Now we know all of this. All because your bitch ass wanted to decide to speak on some shit. Some private shit, it made it public. And now you try to do the same shit Wack does when he does the shit. Now you try to make it seem like, well, look, I ain't say his name. You know, I ain't say Pooh Shiesty was there. Bitch, you should have never spoke about the situation at all. If it didn't come out Gucci mouth, if it didn't come out Pooh Shiesty mouth, you should have stayed fucking silent on the shit. Fuck boy.
The jury situation is the reason why this shit just happened. So let me walk y'all through Dallas a couple of months ago, right?
Fuck you looking at?
Gucci Mane, his security, who happens to be an off-duty police officer. You keep an off-duty police officer as your goddamn security because retired cops, they literally can go through any state with firearm. Only cops can do this. So when y'all hear stupid people say stupid shit, I remember academics, and this ain't a diss towards academics, he was just popping it. He didn't mean nothing about this. But when y'all hear somebody like academics say, oh, I go through these states with my firearms, no, you don't. There's a word that exists. It's called reciprocity. So that's why you hire off-duty police officers. The caveat to that is that when you hire a police officer, off-duty, retired or not, they have a duty to report. It's going to be revealed that Gucci Chef was there, videographer was there, Lil Homie was there. That's all Gucci Mane had. Gucci Mane was under the guise.
Yo, the reason why the feds move this way, right, is because if I can get these blogs to speak on the things before it happens, you know, then it makes it easy. It's an easy conviction. It's an easy win. I already turned the people against them. I already made it seem like Pooh Shiesty stupid. He crashed out. So now when we come through with the indictment, it's justified. Similar to what they did with the black community, what they did to black men. If I can slander black men enough in media and kill them in public opinion, then once I arrest them and give them 80 years at 15 years old, people will be like, all right, he might have deserved it. Based off of the videos that we've seen of black people or black men or black kids in the past, based off of how they're depicted in movies and in videos and shit like that, then once I grab them and I get this fucking 16-year-old 45 years for fucking armed robbery, it's gonna be like, well, that's cool. We don't give a fuck. You should have been out there doing it. That's how this works, y'all. I be trying to get y'all understanding of what's actually going on and why, man, so people can start seeing it for what it is.
That, bruh, I could go ahead and talk with little buddy, and we can figure this all out. You can still me up January 2nd, 2026 in Atlanta when you were supposed to come perform with me at this show. That never happened. Gucci is a good-hearted dude. Just is what it is.
Hell yeah.
But Gucci let his heart get in the way of his mind. Gucci ain't read the tea leaves before it even revealed itself. Gucci's not knowing Big Scar family is Pooh Shiesty. The way you handled that jury situation.
How the fuck Gucci didn't know that? Come on, y'all. You knew that. Everybody else knew that, but Gucci didn't know. Niggas just be on this bitch saying anything, man.
was lame as hell. You see the 1017 chains as your brand. They see the 1017 chains, meaning the family, as a memorabilia piece of him, an extension of him. It's like saying, mama, we made it. Here's the chains to prove it. And you want to take that away from them. You was flat out dead ass wrong. Yeah, I said it. Gucci Mane was wrong for wanting the jewelry back. You don't know what that chain meant to not only Big Scar, but the family.
If this is true, he did not only put Pooh Shiesty in a fucked up situation, he put Gucci Mane in a fucked up situation. Yeah, man. You put Gucci Mane in a fucked up situation too, bro. If this is true.
And that's why Gucci Mane is wrong. It's like a label giving you a customized car that put the label logo on there, and God forbid something happens to you and your family got that car, and that's all they had to remember you is a damn car that shows, damn, you were headed towards the pinnacle of success, and this was one of the steps that you had. So that's why the family reacted like that. And Gucci, you too far removed from the streets to not even know that. So that was some suck-ass shit right there. I don't care how nobody take that. Disagree if you want. Back to the point that...
Now you want to be tough. You all this bitch telling. This the bullshit. Y'all this bitch snitching. Now you want to be tough about
it. Him. Gucci goes in the studio. This is all on camera.
Right.
I thought I got rid of this shit. I apparently did.
Yo, this is equivalent to Whack 100 doing all that snitching on Big U. But say, I ain't never talked to the police. They ain't never come and holler at me. Yo, you went on YouTube. And that video got, I think, at least 100,000 views. And said that you had video proof that a robbery occurred. Seti Nash, CSI Seti. Yo, who was dumb enough to believe that he wasn't contacted by law enforcement about this video? You said you had proof of a crime. Yo. If they contact you about this video, proof that you have, and threaten you with hindering an investigation, he's turning over that video. How the fuck you get the video anyway? If there is a video, how the fuck did you get it? Man, I swear, man. I swear.
Didn't. So there's that. I tried. I fucking tried, bro. I tried.
Look.
I tried.
He's trying to paint himself as the fucking hero. Yo, this guy, this is crazy that people can't see through this. Now he's the savior. I tried. Yo, you the one brought it to the internet. You didn't try anything. What you tried to do was get this man booked, and you succeeded, if everything is true. You're straight up though, yo. That's what you tried to do. Job well done, Seti. They probably give him a bonus. You know what I mean? They might slide him $5,000 bonus for help solving the case. That's what you tried to do, bro. Congratulations. You officially told on somebody else. You know, if he told on his brother, ain't nobody exempt. You already know that. That man told on his brother. He'll tell on his mother, his sister, his cousin, his father. Tell on any motherfucking body. Anybody that's moving like this, they don't have any morals or principles, y'all. Yo, their job on this internet is to solve cases. That's what their job is. That's why he presented himself as a gang member coming in. This another person. First video went viral. Red flag. His first video, I think it was talking about Nipsey Hussle, one of them niggas, went viral. Let me show you. Oldest. Where's first blog video? Look. First video. First video he blogged on. 319K. Lord Dirt. Murder Fire. Predicted by Suddy Nash. He changed predicted. He changed the name of it. This wasn't the original name of this video. Yo, YouTube is not gonna allow your first video to do no 319K. You know why? Oh no, yo, it takes. Yo, you can't even find your page until you get at least 100 subscribers. How to be a Crip. Step 1. What the fuck, yo? Just look at this shit. These numbers don't make sense. Crip talks about casting over 225K. And look, let's talk about G Herbo. 24K, 41K, 11K. Yeah, that's not how that shit goes, man. Let me show you something. Go to my channel. It's either you buying views or somebody is promoting the shit out your page. Look at my page. 83, 141, 223. This got 14K, but that ain't even the real 14K. I paid to have that video promoted. So the watch time on that shit is like nowhere. 200, 437, 331. So the interview with Crip Mac. Conversation I had with Uncle T, Sleep to Uncle T. Interview I got with Prince T Dub, the comedian. Me and ODM Slim. Look how long it took for my videos to get to the thousands. A whole year that went past. First video. And I broke this story. Old Block members indicted. Which means I broke this. Which means I was the first person to report on this situation. That did 3K. Look. This is when you organic, this is how your views are gonna look. It's not gonna be no super duper jump, then everything you do just in the thousands. Oh man, YouTube not gonna allow that. All right, let's get back to it. Major, what's up, baby? Mr. Cater, what it do? Yo, really try to paint yourself as the savior now.
Did my damn.
Yo, crazy, yo. Yo, really try to paint himself as the savior. Nah, bitch. You told.
All you bloggers, y'all bloggers. Y'all not, I'm really in these streets, bro.
What the fuck does that mean? Yo, so if you really in these streets, then yo, you supposed to know that you shouldn't speak on a certain street situation. Yo said, I'm really in these, y'all bloggers. Yo, who believes that he was ever really in the streets? Like, I don't think nobody believes that. He probably a fucking Freemason or something. What's this tattoo right here? Yo said I'm really in these streets, bro. Hey, bro. Really in these streets, bro. The fuck out of here, boy.
The video is going to reveal this nigga Big 30. Mind you, the feds already have all this shit. They had it for over a month now. Pooh Shiesty over here antagonizing shit. I'll tell you about that later. So, Gucci walk in the damn studio, bro, with his people. To Drako's. The fucking footage is going to show Pooh Shiesty had one on him. Big 30 had one on him. Only person who really gonna escape from this is the Pops. The Pops did not want none of this to go on. Nigga like this, bro. Gucci look at the dad like,
Welcome to Wix Harmony. Take the speed of AI and pixel level control.
Yo,
To go from words into a full
he just
website.
told on himself. He just told on himself. Yo, how he know the feds had the video for a month? How he know that? How do you know the feds had the video for a month? Because if this is true, what I said was, by him announcing he got video proof, they came to him, man. And they made him cough it up. We know he's scared of the feds. We see what happened in the old block trial when they pressed him. Southwest Baltimore, what it is. We see how they pressed him at the old block trial. Talking about they was going to charge him with something and they carried this many years. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. The bluffing ass, nigga. No, the fuck they wasn't. But they going to charge you blogging, threatening a federal witness and, like, nigga, just goofy ass up, nigga. I can't stand these dudes. Y'all swear, yo, like, yo, especially him, yo, because he was the first original theft of my video style. I used to, yo, the crazy thing about it, right? I had videos where I was on Sunny Nash page. Before I started going in on him, ODM Slim told me about Sunny Nash. Yo, it's my man, yo, I want to link you up with him, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, bet. So I started watching him. You know what I mean? I started watching him and shit. Reached out to him. I told y'all this story before. This is before I knew that these guys got a diva-like mentality. This is before I knew that some of these niggas is police. This was me coming into the YouTube space ignorant of what actually is going on. I was ignorant to it. I thought that these guys was like, you know, the guys from the neighborhood, you know, the guys I grew up around, the guys that we went to school with. So I hit them like, yo, I'm trying to put together a panel, yo. I hit them on Clubhouse. Yo, I want you to be on there, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm only doing this because of ODM Slim told me I should fuck with y'all. He good peoples. Went on his page a couple times. Then he started stealing my video style. Like, what the fuck, yo? Now you doing videos like I'm doing videos. And he never not once said, yo, sleep to keep the G News. This nigga said verbatim. I ain't never gonna forget it. Because I was shocked and appalled and felt disrespected. That he did a video just like how I do mine and asked his people, yo, do y'all like this video style? Should I start doing videos like this more often? I said, oh shit. This bitch ass nigga. Yo stole my video style and tried to pass it off as his. Yeah, man. That's when I started going in on y'all. That shit was like 3 years ago.
the Pops just head down.
Shit.
You can't tell your son nothing right now. Your son the number one right now. You gonna sign this? Sign the damn papers. And we need that. Wedding ring. Watch. Come about that. The person who closed the door is Big 30. He got his Drako. That's why they put the warrant out for him. It's all on camera, so nothing I'm telling y'all ain't shit that the feds don't know. A lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, but this Fed word. It really ain't. I tried to say the nigga by saying he wasn't there. Saying he left and then these cats did whatever they did. I tried. I tried to get the jury. By the time I get to Dallas, these niggas done already left. It's a whole rumor out there. It's gonna come out later. It is what it is. I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything, but I will tell y'all this: I was about this close. But the people who had the jury, shit, they on paranoia mode, and I get it. So I ain't even mad at that one. Now, there's certain details I'm not gonna put out because obviously it is what it is. I'll plead the fifth.
Man, he never say it all now, bitch. Yo, basically, y'all, if this is true, they raided his house looking for them guns. Yeah, he's trying to get him booked. If all this is true, Vic, what it is? They raided Pooh Shiesty father's house looking for them guns that Sadie Nash just described. Yeah, man. He just described them guns, and that's what they went to the house for. They went to the house for arrest, and they went to the house to search for those firearms that Sadie Nash said was used.
All day, I don't give a shit. They don't know nothing, anyways. I know who knows what, and I know more than what the hell I'm letting on. But it is what it is.
Look, that's another thing. Yo, you can't say that. This the thing, y'all. If you can't be talking like this without getting a visit from these people. You can't do that, y'all. Diddy case. Ariel Mitchell. The guy that looked like TD Jakes. They went on platform after platform after platform saying that they had video proof of Diddy with underage kids. They had video proof of Diddy assaulting people. Y'all remember that, right? We covered it. You know what ended up happening? Y'all remember what happened after that? Who remembers what happened after Ariel Mitchell went on Banfield or Newsmax, whatever fucking channel it was, and said that we got video proof we got 5 videos of Diddy dealing with underage people, and they look inebriated. What happened after that, y'all? Somebody let me know what happened after that. She said that I got proof that people have been trying to reach out to me to buy this footage. Yeah, it was subpoenaed. But before it got subpoenaed, the house got raided. The feds raided the house looking for this video. And they got subpoenaed to go to court. Like, yo, so for him to say, I got this information, I have this video footage. Yo, if that was true, the feds came to him. Yeah, she said that. Remember? She said she had video footage. Got a house raided. Got the TD Jakes dude house raided. They got subpoenaed to court. Didn't have nothing though. Whole time they ain't have shit. But just saying that on a large platform can get your house raided. So Sadie Nash is trying to convince people that he said what he said, everything he said, that Pooh Shiesty had this and not saying that and this happened. He trying to convince y'all that the feds ain't reach out to him after that. Yeah, she said Justin Bieber was on one of them. Come on, Sadie. Ain't nobody stupid, bro. Maybe the people that follow you is young and, squares. Yeah, but I know what's going on. And if this is true and you had all this information, them people definitely contacted you, my nigga. And you definitely gave it up.
They do that shit. They leave. Gucci Mane pissed, confused, hurt. Gucci say nothing. The cameraman and the little homie are running through everywhere, doing this. They telling people, give me 5,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Give me 3,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Hey, I got the footage, bruh.
And he paid for it. And turned that shit over to the fucking police. Damn. These niggas dirty, man. These niggas is dirty, yo. Scumbag type.
Y'all can break the story. Y'all can have nobody, and I'm proud of the industry for this and all. I'll give damn. It's literally some people who ain't street at all that could have had that footage and said, hell no, we ain't touching that. So
I don't know.
Behind the scenes,
if this is true, like I said, we don't even know if this is true. We just running with his narrative now. But Pooh Shiesty supposed to been trying to get out the contract. You know, the narrative is that Pooh Shiesty, you know, Big Scar's Pooh Shiesty blood cousin. And when Big Scar died from overdose, rumor is that the family didn't like how Gucci Mane was carrying it. So the narrative is that when Pooh Shiesty came home, he didn't want to do business with Gucci anymore. Yeah, man, he didn't want to do business with him. So this was supposed to be the result of that. All right. Are we back? Police officer, CSI Suddy Nash, Mr. Caleb. You can call him Officer Nash. He was a fake Crip turned police blogger. I think he might have been a police blogger the whole time, turned fake Crip. I think that's the best way to say it.
Trying to give this damn footage up. Footage supposed to be destroyed. But it don't matter. The cop goes to either South Fulton or Fulton County and reports. Here's what happened. We got robbed, this and that. He makes his statements. Statements goes. He talks to U.S. Marshals. The U.S. Marshals are listening. He's talking to district attorneys and the feds in Texas in particular. He's telling them the story. He's giving them the place, location, all of this shit. So they...
Yo, what the... How did he know all of this, y'all? Yeah, like he must... If this happened, he must was in the room. He might be the... He might have been the officer that pressed Gucci. Look, Gucci, we know about the robbery, man. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Roderick Davis? We got the footage. We got the tape. like Hell Man Society. Nigga, I got the tape. I got the tape, man. Look. Put the tape, play the tape for... Look, man, we know that's you, man. Is you gonna help us or not? Fuck boy ass nigga.
Do their investigations and all this shit, and they go pull the evidence. They move slow as molasses. Pooh Shiesty over here dropping music and dissing the shit out of people while not listening to people. Like, bruh, hell nah. Gucci Mane been chilling.
Look, you act like he's so upset, bitch. You helped forward the investigation. Yo, these guys, they so performative, man. Like, what the fuck, you went to the School of the Arts or something? Like, yo, I don't understand how these guys are so good at misleading and putting on a show for their audience. Like, yo, he is putting on a show, man. Give this man a fucking Oscar. You know what I mean? Oscar nominee CSI Suddy Nash for able to snitch on somebody, publicly snitch, and not take accountability for it.
It's over. Pooh Shiesty is going to be charged with kidnapping, robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, felon in possession of a firearm, grand theft. Pooh Shiesty is looking at a life sentence right now. He's been in jail. Him and his girl been in jail for 3 days.
Look, he didn't know about the girl. God dang, know about the girl with you, bro? What the fuck, they ran that shit through you first? This is sad, man. This is horrible. I can't believe we allowed this, man. Like, I'm so disgusted at the black community, yo. Yo, yet again, we allowed ourselves to be infiltrated by these types. These are the same type of people that took down the Black Panthers. The same type of people that killed Malcolm X. These type of niggas, man. Niggas that's able to blend in and you know, to destroy from within. Yo, we could have did so much good with this internet. Could have did so much good, man. A lot of great things could have happened, yo, if we had the right people at the top talking. But we allowed the federal government and whoever else is a part of it to weasel their way in and yet again allow these people to turn this shit upside down on us. That shit crazy. Like, there was no way we supposed to allow him to get no fucking 200,000 subscribers, man. Ain't no way we supposed to allow this voice to get that big, man. No fucking way.
Because of your ego, Pooh Shiesty will go down as the dumbest, the stupidest, the most emotional rapper to ever exist in this modern age.
Yo, we wouldn't have known about it if your bitch ass ain't report on it, if it's true. All of this would have just been swept under the rug. We'd have never heard of people about it. Pooh Shiesty would have just continued on with his life. But no. And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you bloggers. Did they take that what they said with Scooby-Doo? And I would have got away with it. If it wasn't for you motherfuckers. Man, these niggas didn't let you get away with nothing. I'm ready to show y'all another rat. It seems like a lot of them come from out of California. I mean, even though Puerto Flaco not from California. But it seems like that's the hub of the motherfucking the blogger rats. I think they got them in New York too, though. I think they got them probably in all the like big cities, you know, or big states, California, New York. Look like they creating one in New Orleans with OG Murder. Atlanta just do what Atlanta do. You know what the fuck that is. They got one in Texas. They got Charleston White. Look like they're trying to get one on every, the South. We got one in the South. We got one in the West. We got one in the East, or several. They got the one in Memphis. They got one in Detroit. They got the Dub-Face dude in Detroit. They got the Stan G dude in Memphis. It's like yo, they got one in every city where rap was taking off. Or several. That's what it is, y'all. Wherever rap is heavily, they got a few of these blog type, snitch type niggas. Think about that. For the cities that don't got no rappers, they ain't got them. They ain't got them in Milwaukee. They ain't got them in Baltimore. They ain't got them in motherfucking Alabama. Alabama ain't really big like that. They ain't got them in Mississippi. They only got them stationed where hip hop is prominent.
See the stuff Lil Durk is going through. You really believe this code of the street shit fully applies when you didn't even fully apply the code of the streets? The music industry.
I'm done. I'm not fucking. I'm done. I don't even want to hear no more. Yo, let me show y'all something. This cold of the street shit. I just don't understand how old this. I just don't understand, y'all. So this is how he started off. 16 years ago. This was CSI Study Dash. I swear, y'all, I think they got like a YouTube federal program, y'all. I do. So in 5 years, he went from.
What you want to do is save hundreds with Liberty.
5 years is not that long, y'all. Something ain't true. It's either this was never him, or what we just watched isn't him. But it can't be the same. It can't be the same. 5 short years ago, this was him. Now, this guy look like he has a wool bandana. That bandana is thick as a bitch. I think it's wool. Yo, let me know. Yo, what fabric is that bandana? It ain't cotton. I think it's wool, man, or motherfucking elephant tusk or something. Like what is that? Like, I mean, kangaroo fur or something. Like, this is not your typical bandana that you buy from the store. Like, the federal government must have custom made this. But in 5 short years,
Never admit you a crip to anybody that's not a gangbanger. I don't know how they do it in any other state but California. Cause they find out you a gangbanger, you getting extra charges on that bitch. Cause don't admit you a crip to nobody except other gang members. Motherfucker come up disrespecting you and all that shit and everything. Yeah, then you gotta jump in and let them know where you from. Nigga, what's with that crippin' like?
this was 5 years ago. What happened, y'all? 5 years ago. Now it's this cold of the street shit. Like, he said that with emphasis. Like, he despised the streets or street people. But this is how he presented himself. This is how we met him. He presented himself as a Crip, teaching others how to be a Crip. Part 1. Hear me? Part 1, he was saying, this is how you be a Crip, y'all. Now it's this code of the street shit. I'm done. I can't. I'm done. These niggas is crazy. What the fuck I say right here? Oh, y'all lied on Diddy. Answer that. She must follow my page. Oh yeah. It's super anonymous page. Alright, let me show y'all another, right? And remember, y'all, this is another important part. Y'all gotta understand too, right? Seti Nash. Check this out. Seti Nash. King AK-47. Seti Nash, King AK-47, Trenches News, 1090 Jake, Poetic Flacco, Game Spitter. They all came on the internet around the same time. Trenches, that's a Trenches News. They all came on the internet around the same fucking time. And they all on this bitch trying to solve cases. They all on here trying to solve cases. Hit that like button, y'all. Share the live. We need to get see some sign, man. They try to play with us. They don't let us fully reach our full potential. Look, Siesta, look at his counterpart. Also, let me show y'all. PB Longway accepts 10-year plea deal. See, look, this is a good deal. Remember I was telling you how a Bricc baby deal that he signed was horrible? This was a good deal. Specific sentence recommendation. Unless the defendant engages in conduct inconsistent with accepting responsibility, as described more fully in paragraph 17, the government agrees to recommend a sentence of no more than 168 months imprisonment, to be followed by a period of supervised release. The defendant agrees to recommend a sentence of no less than 120 months imprisonment. So at least he got some type of, he got some type of framework. No more than 168, no less than 120. Bricc baby deal guaranteed nothing. Like, I don't know why his lawyer allowed him to sign that deal. I don't understand why his lawyer allowed him to sign that deal, man. So what happened with Bricc baby? The government allegedly changed Bricc baby max sentence from approximately 5 years max to 10 years max after he took a plea deal. Yo. According to documents, when Bricc baby took a plea deal for his federal charge of felon in possession of a firearm, the sentence would be around 56 to 65 months. His attorney now says the government made a provision after the agreement stating his sentence will actually be 92 to 115 months. They have filed a motion on the issue. Yo, he signed the deal. I remember the paperwork. He signed the deal that he must didn't read the deal that said that we have the option to enhance him. He signed that deal. They're gonna lose this motion. Why would you sign a deal, yo? When you're giving them the option to enhance you? You should have waited and seen what that enhancement was gonna be. If I take this deal, how much are y'all gonna enhance me? If any. That's the only way I'm taking it. I'm not taking no blind plea of 57 to 65 months, but y'all can still enhance me too. That was stupid, man. That was stupid, bro. I try to get back in court, ineffective counsel. Because why the fuck would your lawyer allow you to sign it? All right, let me look at this guy. Detective AK-47 solves another murder before the police. They go, these dudes get like, look at this, like, what the fuck? Look at this nigga, y'all. Tattoos all on his face. Tattoos on, like, you would think that this guy is a stone cold gangster. Ain't doing no telling, ain't doing no ratting. He living and dying on the cold. It's embedded in him. I mean, he ain't breaking the rules for no dollar amount. That's what you would think. by his appearance. But then he gets online and he does things like this.
The person that a lot of people are speculating Munchie B was talking about is this guy right here. This dude right here named is Baby Dot. Now, Baby Dot is also blood. If you see him, he right next to Munchie B. And I'm not going to go into details on what gang he in and why he had the reason to do it. All I know is one of his homies just got spanked not too long ago.
Listen to this
and
thing.
They said it was in retaliation for what happened.
Who's
so this
that?
is the dude that everybody's assuming Munchie was talking about, and his ass is a suspect. You know, he's a suspect. He's one of them. We're going to label 4 people, just 4 out of all of them. But the person, to all YouTubers, we gonna play some police shit on here. We gonna play some police shit on here. It's a part of the job, bro. It's called being smart. Why would I get on here and tell shit that I seen or did myself? Why? So the police can knock at my door? I would rather get paid to be in these niggas' business than to get paid to be in my own. You wouldn't.
Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. Yo. This is why I don't watch these niggas. The only time I see these guys is on Instagram. Because other people share them. Yo, that is a prime example of a person that lack morals, lack principles, lack integrity. This is a person that will get locked up and tell on you, man. This is a person that want to commit the crimes. Do everything that everybody else is doing. Go to jail, but don't want to face no consequences. I'd rather tell him, I'd rather send him to jail. What the fuck am I going to jail for? I know he ain't got caught for his crimes, but shit, I know he did it. I got caught for my crimes. I'd rather send him. That's basically what he just said, y'all. Check him out. Let's tell him again.
Be successful if we didn't. Academics done did it. Jumper done did it. I'm talking about all these Vlad them that are fed. To all YouTubers, we gonna play some police shit on here. We gonna play some police shit on here. It's a part of this job, bro. It's called being smart. Why would I get on here and tell shit that I seen or did myself? Why? So the police can knock at my door? I would rather get paid to be in these niggas' business than to get paid to be in my own. We wouldn't be successful if we didn't. Academics done did it. No Jumper done did it. I'm talking about all these Vlad them that are fed. To all you. FBG Duck was set up by the...
This is first video. Remember, just like Sunny Nash first video went viral. This is his first video too.
Bitch. It was 2 people with Duck, not one. FBG Duck had the gun. The dude that was with the girl that was with him is her brother. He is Muwap's cousin. The brother, which is the dude laying on the ground with FBG Duck, set Duck the fuck up. FBG Duck, once he's Muwapping them niggas in the car, he turned to the nigga, man. The same nigga, and see that nigga reach for his gun. They shot Duck. Y'all niggas not close to this shit. As he shot the nigga, he was getting...
So I guess he in the streets too. Everybody in the streets has got all the information. He basically just said what Sunny Nash said. I'm really in these streets. His version of it is, yo, I ain't close to this shit like I am. Like, I'm so close, I can touch it. I'm damn near on the scene. Nigga, federal government got me on speed dial.
He shot. The gun failed. Yes, it jammed, but it fell out his hand. It flew. Like, once he got shot, it happened like that. Baby, how the fuck you know this?
Yeah, I knew they froze my chat, yo. Now they playing freezing the chat games. I just turned them over. All right, salute. Oh yeah, man. Yo, see, but even this my thing though, bro. Even if it's out there, yo, let the police do their job first, man. Let somebody get arrested first. That's all I'm saying. That's how you avoid being labeled a rat. Yo, let the police do their job first. Then you can go ahead and report. Yo, but you don't report before arrest is made. You don't do that. You say about Munchie B. Appreciate it, Mr. Cater. Yeah, they froze my chat a while ago. I ain't seen none of these comments. Yeah, Crisis. What's up, Infamous? Max, what it do? PNR. YouTube is entertainment, G. If you stay 100% no gimmicks, you will never make it. If nothing else, you have titles gimmicky with your title. That's the only thing, yeah, I do. That's the only way you gotta make salacious titles to bring people in. That's fair game. Y'all already know that though, bro. And I'm cool with that. Like I been came to that realization that no matter how much I know I'm better than these niggas at the things that we do, I ain't going that route. And if going that route is the recipe for success on YouTube, then yo, I ain't going. I never get there. Because at the end of the day, yo, I gotta be able to live with my decision making. And I don't want to be one of them ones. Like I go outside. You feel me? Wherever, if I'm in Baltimore or not. When I'm in Baltimore, I'm out. I don't want to be one of them ones that gotta worry about standing on a YouTube video. You feel me? Like, it ain't that deep. I ain't gonna be the one that niggas be like, yo, you'll be online telling. Knowing that's against who I am as a person. Everybody got, yo, police have a job to do. Investigate the shit. But these guys on payroll. They on payroll, man. They on payroll. I'm telling y'all, I think it's a YouTube federal program, y'all. I do. I really believe that. Now you got Poetic Flacco. He's the one that initially, broke this fucking. I don't know if I don't know if you want to say he broke the story, but he's the first rat. A motherfucking. Look at this dude. Like
But much of me know for a fact, I know who murdered Drako the Ruler.
Yeah, I
he
know.
knows for a fact that he knows how I know. So this is why he's panicking. This is why he's worried. It's not because I'm not dropping it sooner, because what sense does that make? You hate me because I'm not dropping the content you hate as fast as I could? No. He's upset that he knows that I know the information. He knows for a fact I know the information.
How do you know?
And he's upset that I'm releasing that information to the public because the public deserves to know who murdered one of the most promising LA rappers of all time. And I'm sorry. No amount of calls to No Jumper, no amount of politicking or trying to put pressure on Adam is going to stop me from dropping that content. I'm dropping it, buddy. And when I drop it, it's going to be a holiday in LA.
Look.
But much of you know for...
That's all they worry about. Like, he's an outsider, for one. So he don't give a fuck. It's just sad, man. It's disgusting. Let's see what this guy said.
Charlamagne gave Jaden Ivey Donkey the day yesterday for his comments. Let's take a listen to his previous comments.
The world can proclaim LGBTQ.
I
they proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it, unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How are they to say that, man, this man is crazy?
I gave him Donkey of the Day for not minding his business. Okay, you got waved from the Bulls for something that, you didn't even have to say.
So he's co-signing this. He's co-signing Jaden Ivey getting cut from the Bulls for just speaking his mind. See, but these people, what the fuck he look like that for? He look like a fucking alien. But anyway, these people are so accustomed of being controlled that they're okay with it. They're okay with it, yo. There's nothing wrong with not being able to speak your mind. There's nothing wrong with saying things that you're told to say, even if it's opposite of what you really believe. They're paying us. Why would I say it?
What was the point of that?
So Boosie commented on our Breakfast Club Instagram, and he also went to X, and he was basically saying how it's not fair. He said, "This is sad. It's no more freedom of speech anymore." Shaking my
Oh, that's it too. You know, I don't do gang banging over here. I think all that gang shit goofy. But I understand the culture of it in places like Chicago and California because it's ingrained in them. It's been around so long that you're born into it. So I understand both elements and aspects of it. Now I don't recommend. I think gangs was created by the federal government. I do. I think gangs was created by the federal government. The Bloods and the Crips, the Red and the Blue, Democrats and Republicans. I think politics created gangs. I think a lot of the first gang members, I think a lot of the first major drug dealers, not all of them. Some of them slid between the cracks, but I think a lot of the first ones was probably getting their work from Feds, from CIA, from FBI. That's what I think.
Hey, comedians can't even make jokes about it no more. The power that has been given to that community is outrageous. Straight men and women no longer have a voice anymore. Shaking my head. If we speak, it's taken as hate. And I see no one preaching hate, honestly. Just because someone does not agree doesn't mean it's hate. It's sad how it's so easy to get canceled for your own beliefs, and you can't even make a statement like, I only like, and then he says the P word. It will be taken as a shot to the community. I also think people in our community should stand up and speak when people get banned for not agreeing. Why be quiet when your acceptance is greater than ever? It's so many people with power who really are afraid of corporations, leagues, etc. are afraid. Billionaires are afraid. And he says,
it wasn't. If you can remember, gangs weren't created to after. The play ran on black people didn't officially begin. I'm talking about the changing of our neighborhoods, the making some of our neighborhoods dangerous and drug infested and crime infested. It didn't really start until after the Black Panthers. They had to get our leaders out the way first. What year was the Bloods and Crips created? 1972. The Crips was established in 1969. The Bloods was established in 1972. Right after the murders of King and Malcolm X is when they really started. I think really Malcolm X. I think Dr. King was controlling the opposition. But it seemed like this is what it looked like now, looking back at it. It seemed like that's when it started. That's when the slander campaign started. That's when the media manipulation started on black people. That's when they started to turn the world against us. After they got rid of everybody that spoke up for us. After they got rid of the term, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Even when it came to hip hop, hip hop started off as inspirational, and they changed it. That's why I'm so mad that we allowed them to do it again to us. Like we allowed them to do it again, with the internet. It's like we don't have no control over our voices. We don't have no control over our narrative. And we keep allowing outside forces to dictate who we are supposed to support, to dictate what we watch. Look at Zeus Network. I found out that the dude father from Zeus, Levi Plummer's father, is an Israeli bishop. That's the only reason they even allowed it. Like, I always question, we question, like, how the fuck is Zeus Network a thing? How did this happen? You mean a network that's built off, it wasn't built, that turned into slandering a whole generation of black women. And it's thriving. It's $1 billion business now. How the fuck did we allow? Why weren't we able to recognize that shit and stop it off the rip? But the internet, how do we allow the black part of the internet, the urban hip hop section of the internet, to get infested with federal agents? How do we allow their voice to be at the top? While people like me, our voices are heard, but it's not heard on the level it need to be heard on at all, nowhere close. It's frustrating.
hopefully Jaden will be able to still provide for his family.
You know, I actually disagree with Boosie.
This calling Talk Pro 2.0. Of course you're going to disagree with Boosie, bro. Nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised. Yo, nobody has a problem with LGBTQ, man. The problem is that they're pushing it on our fucking kids, man. That's the problem. That's the problem. And I don't think anything is wrong with people don't liking that.
Is very fair, okay? Because free speech is not free. There is a cost.
Yo, I told my son a while ago, my youngest son, I was talking about something. And I was like, yo, you know, men and women is different. You know, our brains don't operate the same. You know, men do this, women do that. Yo, this little boy told me I was being sexist. What the fuck told you that? Like, where'd you get that from, yo? Because I'm trying to explain to you the difference between men and women and how we move and how we think. They're teaching our kids that is sexist now. Instead of just genetics. And how, you know, it's sexist. This my son told me. I was mad as shit about that, man. It's like we shouldn't have to parent against the agenda. Because that's what we're doing, yo. We're parenting against the agenda. Yo, let me raise my kids, man. He 12 years old.
Every word that comes out of your mouth. And if you're not willing to pay the price, then shut the hell up, because you are not free from the consequences of your free speech. You can have the freedom to say whatever you want. But if you say what something like Jaden Ivey said, you got to think about all of the people who own that team, who play for that team, the sponsors of that team. And if those people on that team say, you know what, you don't rock with us.
Yo, he got cut for that, my nigga. He got cut for that, bro. He's never going to get another job. Suspension? All right. If they were suspended Jaden Ivey for those comments, I could say, all right. I'd still be like, oh, that's crazy. You know, everybody's had their own opinion. Yo, but to get relieved of his duties as a basketball player, yo, that is excessive. And then this another thing too, yo. People gotta understand, yo, that whole agenda narrative, yo, that shit don't benefit. That shit ain't benefit. It wasn't about us. But yo, we are the loudest speakers when it comes to it. Yo, that was for them to be able to come out the closet. For them to finally be able to be comfortable with what they're doing and how they live in their life. But while we are the loudest voices on that situation, they're using us to forward an agenda that benefits them. Because no matter what, if you're a part of that community, you're a part of that community. But if you black, you're still dealing with the ills and struggles of a black American. So I never understood as a black person, how do we let that agenda supersede this one? How do we let gender equality supersede race equality? You get me? Because if you're a part of that community and you're this race, then no matter how far that community goes with their messaging and their agenda and their rights, the rights of your race hasn't moved. So in that sense, who benefits? That's how I always looked at that. That's how I still look at it. That's the only way to look at it. Yo, you know how many stores, you know, y'all know I do tow truck. Or do you know how many stores that I go to and I see men, not black men, men dressed up as women? Like, going to the counter, like, what the fuck? It's a whole man. Sound like girl, act like girl. Like, yo, this shit crazy. I see way more of that than I do from black men doing it. Y'all following what I'm saying? That agenda, we was the loudest voices, but we was not the beneficiaries. They was. Oh shit! I thought they was right in me, y'all.
So we don't rock with you, so be it. Now you got to stand on what you said. That's actually what free speech is. Free speech isn't being able to say what you want to say, and then when somebody gives you the consequences of what you said, now all of a sudden you're playing the victim. Like Jaden Ivey did. Jaden Ivey acts like he don't understand why he got away.
Well, Jaden was having a conversation on Kerrigan Skelly's platform yesterday, and he tried to compare this to when Anthony Edwards used a slur and was fined, and said that it's hypocritical that he was let go. Let's take a listen.
Right, he could have got fined. Like it's a number of things they could have done with y'all. They cut him for the shit, yo. That's the issue, Charlemagne. He lost his job. He didn't say anything. He just said he don't agree with it. He could have got benched for 2 games. Fined. Yo, they cut the man for it, bro. Yo, that's crazy.
Derogatory thing to some male. I can't remember vividly what the situation was, but he called somebody a derogatory word, right? He called them the F word, but he was like portraying that person was gay, basically, right? And so I believe the NBA fined him for it, right? How is it that he said something detrimental and basically hypocritical judgment because he's not a Christian?
Yeah, it's derogatory. Right. It's like a slur almost for homosexuals. That if you use that word against them, they're going to be offended by it.
I don't know the situation he's referring to, but I know he's not Anthony Edwards. That's number one. But it seems like Anthony Edwards was talking to.
Yeah, but he not no slouch either, though, bro. Don't act like he not a contributor to that team, man. That man contributes. Stats ain't that bad. The fuck that boy name was? Aiden what? Ivy. What's your name again? Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey career stats. Ivy.
According to ESPN.com, complete career NBA stats for the Chicago Bulls guard Jaden Ivey on ESPN. Includes points, rebounds, and assists.
Those are good stats, man. Damn near 15 a game, which means he scored 20 sometimes. Sometimes he might even put up 30. 3.5 rebounds, which means that some games he might get 7. Some games he might get 8. Man, fuck no. For real? Man, Charlemagne ain't pro. Charlemagne is pro the establishment. Charlemagne is fully controlled. That's why they gave us him. That's why we got him. Fully controlled.
One individual, as opposed to calling out a whole community and calling a whole community unrighteous. It's a different ball game, man. I think so anyway. Yeah, I don't remember what it.
No, this the funny thing though, right? That we have a whole country that uses the Bible to justify their actions. Mind you, it's the same country that's doing this too. But they use the Bible to justify their actions, right? From war to motherfucking mass murders to even owning this particular land, right? But the Bible spoke vividly about homosexual. And based off the Bible, that was a sin. So basically what I'm saying is people use the Bible to justify certain things only when it's beneficial to their cause. They use the Bible to justify slavery. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible was used to justify slavery. The Bible was used to justify war. The Bible was used to justify a lot of these things. But now, he speaks out about what he spoke out about. The Bible speaks out about it too. Say it's wrong. But that don't get honored. Do y'all see the hypocrisy in it? I said the other day, yo, if we're going to run with the Bible as the land of the law of the land, then let it be the law of the land all the way around the board. Don't just take little increments. Don't just take little increments out of it and make it apply just for whatever narrative that you want ran at the time. No, yo, because in that case, what are we doing here?
It was said, and who he said it to.
So it was some time ago, back in 2022. Anthony Edwards, there was a video that was recorded. He was in a car. The window went down. He yelled a word out at some men that were outside of the car, and then the video was taken down, and he had to come out and apologize. But it was reported that he was fined $40,000.
I just don't like when people, get on Instagram Live or any platform, say what they want to say, and then want to stand on the whole free speech thing. You are free to say what you want to say. You're not in jail for what you said, right? But you still have to deal with the consequences of your words. Why do y'all think free speech is free? It's not. There is a cost to every word that comes out of your mouth. And if you're not willing to pay the price, shut the hell up. Shutting the hell up is free.
Charlamagne gave Jaden Ivey Donkey of the Day.
Let me show y'all something else. Hold on. Yo. You talking?
I've been told the fucking maids to clean that fucking fan. Stupid ass. They finna get fired. Let me call them right now. I'm finna fire their ass. Dirty ass fan. That shit been like that forever. Since I was smoking. Fuck. Call the maids until I say come clean the fan. Tell her to come clean my fan. Tell her come clean my fan. This is a damn disgrace. Tell her come clean my fan. Yeah, tell her that's what I need her to do. Clean my damn fan. I don't want to pay her to clean the house. Tell her come clean my damn fan. And I ain't gonna pay her when she finished. The fuck you keep missing the fucking fan? I said that shit the other fuck last 2-3 weeks ago. I've been told the fucking maids to clean that fucking fan. Stupid ass. They finna get fired. Let me call them right now. I'm finna fire their ass. Dirty ass fan. That shit been like that forever. Since I was smoking. Fuck. Call the maids until I say come clean the fan. Tell her to come clean my fan. Tell her come clean my fan. This is a damn disgrace. Tell her come clean my fan.
Yo, this the shit I be talking about with Boosie, y'all. This be that this be that bullshit. Like, oh, come on, bro. You couldn't turn the live off and muted the live to have this conversation. You couldn't have muted the live to have this conversation, bro. All right, yo, she ain't clean the fan, yo. The fan dirty as a bitch. I get it. I mean, I would be upset too. You paying her. Yeah, but you had to do this shit on live, bro.
Yeah, tell her that's what I need her to do. Clean my damn fan. I don't want to pay her to clean the house. Tell her come clean my damn fan. And I ain't gonna pay her when she finished. The fuck you keep missing the fucking fan? I said that shit the other fuck last 2-3 weeks ago. I've been.
They had to do that, my nigga. I wanted to touch on this topic.
I know I was.
And shoot the Drell. This is a hell of a video she did. We'll probably touch on that tonight if we go live. Gervonta Davis shit. Remember I told y'all how flawed this video was? Now we talked about it the other day. Yesterday. But you know, people might have missed it. Yo, this video. And I knew this what it was gonna be. I knew that this video wasn't going to be what they said it was because they didn't release it first. Yo, these people love releasing videos. They love painting black men out to be, you know, dangerous. Now that the case has been resolved, I think this case got dropped by the judge. I think the judge dropped this case. Now they finally released the video. Let me see. Did Gervonta Davis assault case get dropped?
Davis were dropped in August of 2025. The Miami-Dade State's Attorney's Office dismissed the case because his ex-girlfriend didn't want to continue, and a witness, her mother, stopped cooperating. Davis was accused of assault on Father's Day 2025.
He got the felony dropped. So Gervonta Davis has secured a partial legal victory as one of 3 charges against him was dropped. The undefeated boxing champion known for his devastating knockout power remains entangled in serious legal jeopardy despite the development. Court documents obtained by TMZ confirmed that prosecutors dropped the felony false imprisonment charge against Davis. The decision came after authorities determined the charge was redundant given the remaining allegations. He's still facing felony kidnapping charge and a misdemeanor battery charge. Now, y'all remember they did a press conference for this video. At the time, it wasn't no video. It was just them talking. And the way hey, yo, cut it out. The way they depicted this video sound like it was horrendous. Like she was bloody and battered, even though they said it was minor scars and wounds. But you talking about dragging a woman from out of her job. Dragging her. That's how they say he dragged her. Into the parking lot. So much so that she had to escape. And the only way she escaped is because he released her. That's how they describe this video footage that they seen. And they told that to the world. But this is the actual footage. Then here she go, right? This is the girl right here. Oh, no, there she go.
And here comes the defendant. And you can see he grabs her by the hair and pushes her. That's the first one. You can see he's grabbing her by the hair and pushing her down the stairs.
Pushing her down the stairs.
Michael, go to the next one.
Let her go. Well, I ain't say nothing right there. Why you got quiet on that video?
And you can see her pleading with him.
That don't look like no hard push at all. Looks like he ain't wanted to fall.
Where should we send on that? Yeah.
And this is down in the garage where he pushes her down the stairs to the garage.
Security door. That is fun.
And you can see, and here's where she escapes.
Yeah.
If we go to the last one, please. And that was it. Your Honor, you can see what happened.
Yeah, they blew that shit way out of proportion, man. Way out of proportion, man. Let me show y'all something. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Then we're gonna get to Charlie Kirk. Did y'all see Stephen A. Smith on Bill Maher? Hit that like button, y'all. Share it live, man. Here you go.
So
I think that's it.
And to the Jewish community out there, let me be very, very clear. I don't blame them if they're in an uproar over Joe Kent, because what you're doing is basically saying that Israel instigated this war. Well, Benjamin Netanyahu is on the record saying no. Other Israelis and other members of the Jewish community are saying no. And a statement like that by Joe Kent could easily be used as an excuse for individuals out there to engage in anti-Semitism, which is fomented and grown, and we all need to speak out against that.
Yo, the funny thing was like, how did they get so many black people to be so pro-Israel? Like, what the fuck? That man ain't from Highlands, Queens. That man from Highlands, Queens, yo. He just got so much compassion for Israel. Shit is crazy, man. Where the fuck is that whole interview at? It's a fucking year ago. I gotta hear this nigga, man. This must be it right here. Yeah, that's it right here.
All right, she is the Democratic Senator from Michigan, Senator Alyssa Slotkin. He hosts Stephen A. Smith show on Sirius XM, Stephen A. Smith, and she's CNN's chief legal analyst and anchor of Laura Coates Live on CNN, Laura Coates.
Oh, we already know.
We're going to get to the questions from the people, but you said when you sat down, you get asked about this every week about the aliens because
I shouldn't have brought it back up.
Okay, this is for you. Were you surprised by the Justice Department opening an investigation into you after you encouraged military members to disobey illegal orders?
You
and 5 others, right?
Yeah, yes. Yes, I was surprised that after filming a 90-second video that repeated basic law, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, that the president would ask, over a dozen times for us to be investigated, arrested, and hanged. Yes. And I thought even for him that was too far, and they did his bidding. And I just thank the grand jury of just random citizens who I will never meet, who said that's ridiculous. And thank you again.
Okay. What do you make of more Democrats distancing themselves from AIPAC, that is the Israeli lobby? I think everyone who's running for president, although none of them say they are, but they're all the ones.
Everybody need to distance themselves from that shit. All them lobbies. It's all of them, man. Yo, a foreign government should not be able to motherfucking distribute funds to our fucking politicians, man. Shouldn't be able to do that.
Or including the 2 Jewish ones. That's where Jews are with the Democratic Party these days. Has it become toxic to support Israel? I think it has for the Democrats.
I think it has. The question is it right?
It's not.
I don't think it is.
No, it isn't.
I don't think it is. And I think that what you're having right now is a lot of people, when we saw what we saw on college campuses, what have you, and a lot of people, engaging in anti-Semitism, let's just call it what it is, that definitely becomes incredibly alarming. But I also think that there's a lot of people out there that got an issue with Benjamin Netanyahu specifically. And unfortunately, they keep castigating the entire Jewish community when they're not realizing there are an abundance of people within the Jewish community that have a problem with his leadership. And they're not differentiating between the two, and that's problematic.
Yeah, that's part of it. I think it's a much bigger
He must
issue.
got a motherfucking finger up his ass or something. Like, why the fuck do you care, bro? What the fuck?
Than that, I think when you're a Democrat and you don't take money from AIPAC, which they have forever, what you're saying is Israel is a monster country and this is dirty. It's a dirty country and this is dirty money. And that gives permission to a lot of people who are actually anti-Semitic to say, well, you know what, if the Democratic senator won't take their money, this must be a dirty country.
Let's also remember as well that you got a lot of people that felt like, they're taking this position that Trump was wrong to go after Iran or what have you. But practically every president before him would complain about Iran and how Iran needed to be dealt with. But then all of a sudden he doesn't, and it's a big problem. Now, I'm not saying that he's handled it entirely correctly. Please don't get me wrong, because he hasn't. But the flip side to it is that you got a lot of damn nerves to be in the face of American people saying for numerous administrations, Iran is a problem. They have to be dealt with. Iran's a problem. They have to be dealt with. And then this man deals with them, and then all of a sudden you're complaining about him now. It doesn't really make sense. There's a lack of consistency.
Would you take AIPAC money?
So, actually, it's interesting. I mean, long before October 7th, I stopped taking AIPAC money, not because of Israel or any other issue like that, but because they were giving money to people who had been participating in January 6th. And for me,
Who was giving money?
AIPAC, they give money to both Democrats and Republicans, and people who had been involved in inciting January 6th, they were giving money to. And as someone who barricaded herself in her office on January 6th, I didn't agree with that. And so back in 2022.
Yo, it's a damn shame, yo. Like, yo, that word doesn't have the same weight as it does before. They're going to have to figure out another way, to push that same line. But, that word that Stephen A. Smith was using isn't as valued as it once was before. At all. Now, Charlie Kirk. Now, I was saying earlier,
Justice
that I
may
think
rest in
Candace
knowing
Owens,
that God is in charge.
I think that she's I don't think she realized it. But I think that she is helping these people with this cover up. Because if she's successful at what she's doing, Tyler Robinson isn't going to be found guilty. And if he didn't do it, he shouldn't be found guilty. But that ultimately helps what they're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk ain't coming back. So if you got a situation where they got him out the way, nobody got arrested for it, it's a win-win-win. Because no matter what she uncovers, she can uncover concrete proof that somebody else murdered Charlie Kirk. Concrete. And they will not get arrested at all.
There were people that were grabbing hats, and Terrell thought, let me spring into action and rescue this.
So news just got broke that they don't have the bullet that they got from Charlie Kirk, or the fragment that they got from Charlie Kirk, doesn't match the gun that Tyler Robinson supposed to have on him. Doesn't match the gun. Let me show y'all. Then I'm gonna let her rock out, and I'm ready to start this food. It's not everything that I got. There you go.
Shoots scores on the point for this conspiracy theorist because, obviously, we all knew that
What
that
they
bullet
used
was
to
not
kill
going to...
Charlie did not match the rifle found by Tyler Robinson. Said to be used by Tyler Robinson.
D card? Yeah, we
For
know
real?
Andrew Kovacs lying because Terrell did not take the expensive camera. If you were afraid about things being stolen that were of value, you wouldn't remove the SD card and then leave the expensive camera on the table.
The SD card is $15, okay? The camera's pretty expensive. Terrell Farnsworth seemed to be moving with precision as if he were acting on some sort of instruction. Am I right? But to what end, I wondered. Why that camera? Why specifically the one behind Charlie's head in particular? And because I was wondering, I decided on September 17th, exactly 1 week after Charlie's assassination, to reach out to him. I called him. And he was exceedingly nervous. He stammered through a great many nonsensible excuses. I did it to protect Erica, he said. I wanted to secure the footage for Erica so that she wouldn't have to see the footage of Charlie being shot in 4K. Okay, clocked you on another lie. Because that was already a foregone conclusion. The entire world had just witnessed Charlie Kirk bleeding out. Okay, you can't save Erica from the internet already circulating these clips to the tune of billions of people who watched it worldwide. More crucially, if he was actually worried about Erica seeing the footage, common sense to me says that he would have grabbed the camera that was like, I don't know, a yardstick away from Charlie's face. Oh, yeah, that camera that we've circled right here. That would have grabbed the action. That would have been the real up-close shot of Charlie bleeding out. So he lied. The camera from behind, making matters worse, once I actually saw the footage, it had no blood. We revealed that on this show, so now you can think through that. He was telling me he was trying to save Erica from seeing her husband die, but yet this was the most mild shot of all. There was not a drop of blood on Charlie's back as he went down. So what exactly was it that Terrell was racing to hide? What they were hiding, and I am going to speculate this boldly now, having read through these files and thought through everything that has happened, they were hiding was the fact that the bullet did not go through, did not pierce through Charlie. I believe that that was supposed to remain a state secret. The public was never supposed to have that piece of information. I feel pretty certain about that because after being told that the 30-06 was fired from a rifle a mere 150 yards away into the most delicate human neck, the assumption, all of us made the assumption, actually, we never even asked the question. Our assumption was just that it had gone through, of course. And I believe that that is the true reason why they moved to pave over the scene so quickly, because that was supposed to be the narrative. We've got the gun. We're going to say it was 30-06. We're going to say it passed through. We collected the evidence. Now it's paved through. Nobody can look. It's gone. But something happened. There was a divine intervention. Terrell showed me the back footage 2 days later on September 19th because I kept pressing him. Why are you being so weird? Why are you acting so strange? Why are you giving me so many excuses? Why are you telling me you're scared to send the footage because Google might hack you? That's bizarre. Why are you telling me you don't know how to send footage? You are an audiovisual company. You should know how to send big files. And so he eventually said, hey, I'll FaceTime you. I'll just FaceTime you. I'm not going to send you anything, but I'll FaceTime you. And on September 19th, he did that. And gratefully, I moved to record that FaceTime call because his energy made me uncomfortable. And later that day, I informed the public on my show that the bullet didn't go through. I said the oddest thing. It's like there was no blood in the back of Charlie. That's so strange. And this public revelation caused a mass internal panic at Turning Point USA. Do you want to know how I know that it caused panic? Because the very next day, on September 20th, Justin Strife was contacting my husband several times, asking him if I had recorded that FaceTime call with Terrell. It came across like an urgent matter. I was sitting in the living room. George came to me. He's like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but like Justin Strife is hitting me up. He's asking me if you recorded, what's he talking about? I said, what? Why does he care? Why is this urgent? Why are they following up with you? What's up? And he's like, I don't know. What? And then I explained to him what happened. And I said, honey, don't answer the question. I find the question in and of itself to be weird. Why do they care if I recorded and have the back footage? And guess what? I found out why. I found out. Do you want to know why? They were feeling a bit of pressure. Who it was in particular that was placing pressure on Justin Strife and Frank Carney to determine whether or not I had recorded that back footage? The feds were. The FBI. The FBI was on the phone with Justin Strife, Frank Carney, and they were apparently speaking to the feds that day about whether or not I had recorded the footage. Now, why do you think this information was so important to the FBI? Why would the feds be concerned about whether or not I had the back footage? I'm screen recording a FaceTime call. They've got it in 4K. They're not protecting Erica. It's everywhere. Unbeknownst to me at that time, This was also the exact day of Charlie's private burial, and yet this is what they were consumed with. Erica was highly concerned about the back footage as well, so much so that rather than attending exclusively to her husband's private funeral, okay, the higher priority for Erica on that day was to curate a response to the public regarding why the bullet had not gone through. I want to say that again, okay? Responding to my episode where I simply told the public the truth, that there was no bullet that passed through, was deemed a higher priority than Erica being fully emotionally present at her husband's funeral. Her and Andrew were discussing this. They peeled off to the side and they conferenced the surgeon on the day of Charlie's actual funeral. They conferenced and called Dr. Lee Trotter. This is the single biggest lie that Erica Kirk would later tell me. She would insist to my face, and I did not believe her for 1 second, and I politely pushed back, that Andrew went rogue that day, that the surgeon went rogue too. The two of them had a discussion that she did not authorize, a discussion that she was not privy to. The surgeon violated HIPAA. Andrew violated her privacy, and after that discussion, Andrew went double rogue, and he tweeted about the nature of this discussion that he could not have had with the surgeon without Erica's permission. Erica lied. Erica and Andrew colluded on how to message to the public about this little fact that was never meant to be known to us. Dr. Lee Trotter did not violate HIPAA. In fact, he could sue her for defamation, in my personal opinion. She was the one that was on the phone with Andrew, and they were asking the doctor what they could tell the public, and it was Erica Kirk that said that Charlie ate healthy, and she bet he had a neck like Superman. Pretty obvious, if we just pause and think about it. It was pretty girly and emotional. Man of Steel, he just eats healthy. That's not how serious trauma surgeons communicate, okay? It's just not. But the crucial point of Andrew's tweet that people are forgetting, and why I'm taking you back through this as before we get into these filings, is that on that day, as they were freaking out, feds calling me, my husband, feds calling Turning Point USA, putting pressure on me and my husband, Erica and Andrew on the side, trying to figure out how to message. The crucial part is that then when they did deliver this information to the public, they declared that the coroner found the bullet, not a fragment, the bullet. On September 20th, after the autopsy and the death certificate were issued, they communicated to the public the bullet was found beneath Charlie's skin, okay? We can read that statement together. They want you to forget these things. Andrew tweeted, I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize if this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon who...
Yo, I said from the beginning, like I don't know if I said this publicly, but when I first seen that shooting, I said he got hit with a small gun. And then when they came out with it was a 30-06 or something like that, I said, oh shit. Yo, but it couldn't have been. Yo, that bullet would have exploded his head, man. I knew that was a small caliber. He got hit with like a 22 rifle. But I got stuff I gotta do. Make sure I hit that like button. Make sure I subscribe to the channel. Share the live. I think we covered every topic. Drako the Ruler, Pooh Shiesty, Bricc Baby, Charlie Kirk. I think we got everything. Hopefully we did. It's another day, KBG News. Trap, what it do? Yeah, it was live for like 3 hours, bro. And I'm out.